What is going on, y'all? It's your boy AJ. I'm back again with another banger. It's another beautiful Friday, another beautiful day to be alive in the Bay. And today, I wanted to bring you guys another video. I'm at my other storage facility where I'm able to store some of my other vehicles. And as you guys know, I'm currently right now in my gen, and this is mainly where I store my gen. But I want to make this video today for you guys because, as most of you know, I recently purchased back in February the GEPTUNED Ram Air Intake. So made a video about 5 or 6 months ago showing you guys how to install it on the car. And I would say since then I've seen some people giving feedback on it in the Facebook group, sharing feedback that it's warping, it's cracking in areas. So yeah, I've also had some people dropping some comments on my videos, just wondering, what my honest feedback is, giving an update on it. Am I noticing warping? So I want to drop a video, really answering all those questions today for you guys, and answering even more in-depth questions such as, what do I think the core issues are? What would I have done again if I were George rebuilding this intake? Would I buy it again? What are some alternatives, right? And yes, again, giving you guys a full top to bottom rundown of the intake. Now, I do want to make a disclaimer that I was actually just messing around with the intake way too much. Honestly, I just got here and I actually cracked it. So I cracked a piece of it. So if I'm showing you a piece of the intake, it literally just happened a second ago. I cracked it on accident because I was just putting way too much pressure on it, and that crack was not there before. So I'll fix that. But I just wanted to give you guys a disclaimer that there was no crack there before, and mainly all of the issues that you're going to see, such as warping, were there, pretty much before today, when I came over here and just popped the hood. So that is enough yapping, guys. We will hop right into the review, and I'll give you guys just a quick, inside and out look at the intake. Let's get into it. All right, guys, we are here at the intake now. As I said, I've had this intake for about 9 to 10 months now, since February. So I wanted to give my feedback and review on the intake so far. I live in the Bay Area, so temperatures here on average at their hottest point get about 95 degrees. Now, I don't live in Las Vegas or Arizona or South Carolina where temperatures are much more humid and even hotter, or even like Texas where they can get up to like 110 and 115. So just keep that in mind. If you do live in those regions, if you do decide to purchase this intake after I give you an update on it, or if you decide to maybe wait for an updated or more updated version of this intake, or you decide to purchase an alternative, hopefully you can make a more informed decision after watching this video. So before I get started though, guys, I want to let you guys know this material is actually pretty hard. But a second ago, I was just messing around way too much with this portion that's warped, which I'll get to and show you guys in a second. And I accidentally cracked it. It wouldn't have cracked if I just pushed it and pulled it under normal strength, which you can see right here. I was pushing and pulling a lot more than I should have. So unfortunately created a small hairline crack here, but I'll use some super glue, crazy glue / Permatex, and we'll just glaze that over really quickly and ensure that there's no escape of airflow through the top. So just a quick disclaimer, this was done by me. But let's start by just looking at the front. So this is the front. The front portion that goes over the radiator, which you can see right here, I would say is still in pretty good condition, no major warping. Now, the major issue is this portion here that goes over the top. Now, some people may have it worse than others. I would say I still have about, on mine, a good inch to maybe an inch and some change of airflow, which is not horrible. It's not the best, but it's not horrible. It's still pretty much giving me a decent amount of airflow. Now, if it gets worse, progressively worse, and I'll shoot a video in 6 months giving another update, then I will potentially be forced to choose a different alternative or create my own. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, but this is the state of what the front looks like and the top. Now, let's pull this out and look at the very top of the intake. Top of the intake is still in pretty good condition. No warping up here. No loss of airflow through any of these gaps. No major cracking. But yeah, I just think one of the main flaws is just the material on this. I think the engineering, it's engineered to perfection. It's engineered actually very, very well. Looks pretty good. It's just, unfortunately, the materials could use an upgrade. But again, George is not an intake specialist. He doesn't have $1 billion company backing him to build intakes all day. So it's just kind of is what it is. It sucks that it costs this much, but also if you're purchasing an intake, buying it from any vendor, it's going to cost you about $400 to $500. And we'll get into that. Unless you make it yourself, which is, if you go the Home Depot route and make your own, then obviously you're probably going to pay pennies on the dollar depending on what material you use. But if you're buying anything online, it's definitely going to cost you $400 to $500. If you know somewhere cheaper, let me know. But that is what the top looks like, guys. No major issues there. Let's flip it over. Look at the bottom. Now, this is what the bottom looks like. Now, it looks kind of weird on the bottom, but it's actually symmetrical. So although it looks like there's a major gap there, if you look in that gap, it actually ends. So, and these gaps are the same on both sides. So maybe a little bit of warping right here, depending, but I don't even think so. I think that's just how the design is, because if you look even inside, it ends. All that ends. Hopefully I'm getting that. Hopefully it can focus. But all that ends in there. There's no holes, there's no weird cracks. All that comes to an end in there. There's a plate, it's like a little plastic plate in there that holds all of this together. Now I probably have some chipping here from taking it off my other car and maybe from when that other car hit me. But yeah, I would say there's no major defects on the back. Let's flip it back over. Now, would I buy this again? Would I spend $500? Probably not. I think that's just a little excessive. If it had different materials, absolutely. If he used the materials from like the Veram over the radiator intake that is made for the G8, I would absolutely buy this in a heartbeat. But I just think that the materials are the flaw here. I think the engineering design is great, just needs different materials. And that's just how things go. That's just how stuff goes. I mean, I don't think he's made more than 40 or 50 of these. So that's just the reality of it. But as far as alternatives, guys, you can either go building an intake yourself, kind of just the homemade route, which is Home Depot materials, and you can just fab things up on your own through the bottom, through the intake. I mean through the bumper, however you want to fab it up and rig it up for yourself, or you can go purchase a Weapon R, which I'll link below. So again, that's the aluminum one that I actually gave away on this channel. I thought it worked pretty good. And but yeah, I mean, I also realized that there were limitations with that, since it didn't have that over the radiator look that it does have here, right? Where you're getting all the airflow coming from the front of the car. But you can purchase that if you want. If you want an aluminum intake. So you have the Weapon R, you have this, which, depending on where you live, and where you're storing your car, how hard and how long you're driving and how hot it is, you have this option to purchase this intake, or maybe wait for a new version of it to come out. And then you also, as I said, guys, have the option to purchase the Veram Air Intake, which is the Veram over the radiator intake. Again, a guy named Stephen Pickens already posted this a really long time ago. So shout out to him. I think he's Steven Pick Your Boss or something. Sorry, brother, if I'm getting your name wrong, man. But that's just like your online moniker or Facebook moniker. But he was the first person to post a video of him with his Veram over the radiator intake. And it looks very similar to this. It just is different material. So it looks a little bit more shallow. That's why I'm saying that I don't really know how big the gap is on the Veram air intake, because it may not be bigger than this as it sits now, even in its warp condition. But that is a good alternative. I think the materials may be better. I don't think his is warping. It just seems like it's a different material that is just like a lighter plastic, and it's not as thick and bulky. So yeah, that's also a different alternative. I think it's about $400 as well. I'll post a link below for you guys. But that is pretty much it, guys. George is still a great tuner, still makes good products. Obviously, I just think that, if he were to go back in the lab and recreate this, just use different materials, but still great engineering, great design. Appreciate what you try to do for the community. And yeah, if you guys are interested in any tuning, hit up George. Feel free to hit him up. I mean, that's obviously one of the reasons why you guys watch this channel, because he tuned my car, and you guys like, not only the driving, but you guys like how the car sounds and performs. So still a great tuner. If you guys have any questions, definitely send him a message, or leave a comment below. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Make sure you guys don't forget to hit that big red subscription button. Make sure you guys smash the bell so you guys notify when I drop more content. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Love y'all. Deuces.